What's up, guys? All right, grab yourself a beverage, grab some chips, put your feet up. Right now, we're gonna check out some center console boats, fishing boats for 2026 here. We're gonna take a group of 16 footers and we're gonna compare them side by side and see what boat we think is giving you the best boat for your money. We're gonna go up to 19 footers, 20 footers, 21, 23, and one amazing 25 that is gonna blow you away for a really good price. And but it's not just about the center console boats. We're going to learn what brand of boat really gives you the best boat for your money. So by the end of this video, hopefully things will be, put into perspective for you a little bit more, and you'll know what brand of boat really gives you a really nice boat for a really good price. Let's go. All right, kicking it off with a nice 16-foot Robalo. I love Robalo. For $45,450 with a nice 90 horse on it. All right, Robalo gives you a nice boat that's usually fully loaded for a really good price.
Boat, motor, and trailer.
Other boats like, the Gradys and the Bostons, you're paying up for the name. But with Robalo, I don't feel like you're paying up for the name at all. They seem to give you a boat that's pretty much loaded for a really good price.
Nice 90 horse.
And let me pause it right here for a second. So as soon as I look at center console boats, the first thing I see, you walk up to the back of the boat and you look at that captain's chair. And if a boat is really, if they're trying to give you a lot of boat for your money, if they're trying to impress you, there's usually going to be three things when you look at the captain's chair there. You're going to have some rod holders on it. Below that, you might have a few little, storage compartments to organize your tackle, and below that, a cooler. And this one here, it doesn't have rod holders, and it doesn't have, some little storage trays for your tackle, but you can easily slap some rod holders on the back of that seat, it looks like. And, for the price, I'm not complaining. And what a beautiful boat. I think Robalo makes some of the nicest looking boats out there. I mean, when you look at a Robalo from the side view, just the lines are beautiful. The aqua blue color is beautiful. And here we go. So again, you get a nice cooler with it, and rear facing seat here, rod holder. But here, let me pause it. The bracket for that soft top is attached to the side of the boat. And on the higher end center consoles, the brackets, the bracing for your soft top or your hard top, it's attached to the side of the center console. And like on these cheaper boats like this, they just attach it to the side of the boat. That means you can't fish off the side of the boat because all that bracing for your soft top is all right there in the way. So you can barely fish off the back of this boat. The only way you're going to fish off the back of this boat is if you have a rod in that rod holder and you're trolling. I mean, you could do that, but if you're just like standing there and fishing, really you can only really fish from the front part of this boat. So that's my main complaint about this boat and some of these other cheap center console boats is they attach that canvas top, the bracing for it, to the side of the boat there, and it's really kind of in the way. But you still have a really good section towards the front half of the boat to fish. So, and here we go. Let me pause this for a second. Like I said, Robalos are usually fully loaded with the price. And this one comes with your Simrad electronics, so you got your navigation, your fish finder, everything included in this price for $45,450.
Including your Simrad electronics.
And I just think you get a lot of boat. Sound system, 3 rod holders on each side of that forward-facing seat right there. A nice platform there. You can stand up there and fish, or you can sit there and fish off the side. The walkway here is definitely wide enough, easy to walk around and stand there and fish. So love the boat for the price. Okay, now here we're going to compare an 18-foot aluminum to that boat we just saw because it's the same price. So a FishRite aluminum center console now with a huge step up in the motor, 150 horse Honda VTEC motor, and that one had a 90. So for the same price, I mean, you get a boat that's 2 foot bigger with a big improvement in the motor. But it's a bare bones boat on the inside, we'll see in a second. I like that built-in tray right there. You can just kind of like organize some tackle right in there. And so it's very bare bones though. So that's the trade-off. I mean, look at the dash here, there's nothing. Just a couple of basic gauges and I think a little fuel gauge. And there's a canvas top, very basic. You have your navigation light up there and 4 rod holders, and that's it. So no LED lights, no storage, no sound system up there. But you can get some battery powered LED lights that you can clamp up there, and that's, you know, not such a big deal. It's a pretty easy fix, I guess. And the bow here, you have so much more space in this boat for your gear, for people to fish. And these 2 front seats right here, if you take those out, you just have a huge flat spot the whole front of this boat. So plenty of room for all your gear, room for a couple guys to fish, or even 4 guys to fish. Yeah, 4 guys could easily fish from this boat, easy. And those seats are really cheap plastic seats. I mean, when you fold them down and you fold them up, you have to fight with them. They're pretty flimsy. But the storage box under this seat is pretty nice, and they lock. So lock up your stuff so you don't have to worry about someone stealing it at night. Again, kind of fighting with the seat a little bit. So it's a trade-off, but a bigger boat with tons of space for all your gear, tons of space to fish. The canvas top is not attached to the side of the boat, so you can fish from the sides of the boat all the way around, like you should be able to. But nothing though, no downriggers, no rod holders, no electronics, no nothing. So it's very bare bones. That's the trade-off. $45,792. But at that price and how functional that boat is, it's still a great price, an awesome boat for the price. You know, I'm not complaining. Now here's the 18-foot Robalo compared to that 18-foot FishRite we just saw. Okay, you're stepping up. You're about a little over $8,000 more here for the same size boat. But this boat is fully loaded. Okay, I mean, the electronics on the dash, everything. You don't get that Honda 150, but you still get a decent motor. Okay. And here the sign, it's basically telling you that you get everything in this price.
The specs there, if anybody wants to
So,
read that.
again, Robalo, giving you a lot of boat for your money. Nice Yamaha 115 horse on it. All right, let me pause it right here. Again, you look at the captain's chair. This is pretty sweet. You got rod holders along the back, a really nice cooler down below. I don't see any trays down there to organize any tackle, but that's not really that big a deal. I mean, it's not a deal breaker. Again, you got the bracing from the soft top attached to the side of the boat again, so you can't really fish from the side of that boat. You can fish from the front and maybe from the very back, but from the whole middle section, you can't, not with that canvas top there. Unless you take it off. But I don't want to take it off. I want it. I want it up there. I want the shade. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But again, so much boat. Such an awesome boat for the price, though. I can't complain too much. The walkways are definitely wide enough, easy to walk around.
I mean, $53,000.
And look at this, the dash here. Okay. I mean, you got all your gauges and your switches, everything, but it doesn't come with the electronics. So it's got everything, but no navigator, no fish finder. But there's a nice big flat spot on that dash right there that you can see where it's ready to put whatever you want. So, you know, another $1,000 into it, you can have a really sweet, you know, GPS and fish finder. I mean, depend on what you get. 3 rod holders on each side. Nice big storage area on the bow. Sit up there and fish or take off that cushion stand. Nice forward facing seat. So, guys, to me, I mean, you have a space there. It looks like they can put a toilet if you want. I mean, it doesn't come in the price. That's a really tight space though. I'm not sure if you can actually fit a toilet in there and actually get in there and use it. That's such a tiny space, but anyway, as far as these boats here at the 16, 17, 18 foot range, I love that FishRite aluminum boat we just saw for the price, but for the extra, like a little over $8,000, you get this. And it's such a beautiful boat, and it's nice to spend the day in such a beautiful boat too. So that's a major bonus for sure. So for the extra $8,500, yes, I would probably pick this one over that FishRite.
So that's nice.
Because it's just so nice and so loaded. Sound system. Awesome boat for the price. Nice seats. Fold them up when you want to use them. Fold them down and when you want to get them out of harm's way.
Not using it.
Very nice. All right. Now, a Boston Whaler. Okay, it's a 17-foot Boston Whaler, but I mean, what are we at? About $14,000 more than the Robalo that we just looked at, and it's 1 foot smaller, which you kind of expect because with Boston Whaler, you're paying up for the name, a basic Mercury 115 4-stroke. So the motor is pretty much the same. Rod holders all along the back, the rear facing seats that fold down again. But here, let me pause that. With these rear facing seats right here, if you fold that seat up, then that opens up a lot more deck space because you can see underneath that seat right there is deck space. So if you fold that up, you have a lot more room back there to move around and to fish. So I like that design. That's kind of unique to Boston Whaler. The other boats don't really have that. I like it. And with Boston Whaler, you got these, high safety rails to go all the way around, which kind of go along with Boston Whaler. They're kind of known for that, which is nice. This boat does come with your electronics. You got your Simrad electronics, so you got your fish finder, navigator, and another canvas top again where it's attached to the side of the boat. So yeah, has a sound system, nice forward facing seat there for two with a big cooler underneath it. That's definitely a bonus. One nice cooler is great, but two is better. So no, I would not pay $14,000 more for that boat than I would for that 18-foot Robalo. No, so the 18-foot Robalo for me is winning this contest right now. Here's an 18-foot Grady White. Grady White is kind of changing things up this year. They're not giving you the price anymore on the boats. They put up this sign that's got the QR code that you got to scan, and then you got to kind of like do some research and figure out the price. And they do that because they want you to talk to the salesman so the salesman can have his chance to, sell you the boat. Let me pause it right here. And I just think that's kind of annoying, I mean, every other boat at the entire boat show, they put the price on the boat and they have a list of what comes with that price. And then they have a list of other options. And that's what you need to see. And Grady White is the only boat that is refusing to put a price on their boat. They put that stupid QR code on there so that you have to talk to the salesman so they can try to sell you the boat, blah, blah, blah. Not only that, they're the most expensive boat on this list. Like, look right here. This is a bare bones boat. I mean, everyone loves Grady White. They make awesome boats, we know that, but still, you're paying a lot for them. They're expensive, you're paying for the name, and here we are. This is gonna be the most expensive boat of all these boats we've looked at, and it's very bare bones. Look at the chair for the captain and the passenger. No cooler, no rod holders, no little storage trays, no nothing. It's just a kind of a basic seat. And the dash here, you can see nothing, just your basic gauges, that's it. No electronics at all. So, yeah, Grady White, you know what? Grady White doesn't even qualify. They are disqualified. All right, 19 footers, stepping it up, starting off with the most affordable one, and we'll work our way up. We have a Starcraft here for $45,995, and it's fully loaded. Starcraft is a boat that you're not paying up for the name with Starcraft like you would for a Grady White, right? So they're trying to impress you. They're trying to give you something a little extra to compete. Suzuki 150 motor on it. That's a good sized motor for this boat. Nice wakeboard tower. Another canvas top. Again, it's attached to the side of the boat instead of the center console, so that's going to kind of get in your way if you're fishing. But look, it's got a nice live well. And again, rear facing seats, cup holders, rod holders everywhere. So Starcraft is trying to give you something more because they got to compete with the big names like the Bostons and the Gradys. So pads on the sides when you're leaning up against the side of the boat, it's like soft on your legs. Little tray right here. Organize some tackle maybe. Again, they got Deckmate all over this boat too, and the other boats didn't have that. And they give you the Simrad electronics here, so fully loaded dash with your GPS and fish finder. So, a lot of boat. Starcraft gives you a fully loaded boat for $45,995 for a 19-footer. And I mean, the other boats we looked at, 16-footers were this same price. With Starcraft, they're giving you a 19-footer. So, not a rough water boat though. I don't really like, as far as the bow goes, it's, you know, you don't want to really be in too rough, choppy water. I could see how water could kind of come over the bow a little bit on this boat. That's a kind of a low bow. But yeah, as long as you're not going out on too rough or choppy water, should be fine. Okay, now we're stepping up to a 19-foot Boston Whaler for only about $1,000 more. And which seems like surprising, a 19-foot Boston Whaler for only $46,000, but this one is like a very basic, very bare bones boat. It's basically boat motor trailer. I mean, there's not much on it at all. So let me pause it. I mean, there's a gas tank under the driver's seat, and I have to assume that's the only gas tank for this boat, so that's kind of weird. It doesn't even have a built-in gas tank. That's your tank for your motor right there. So no rod holders, no cup holders, no really anything. It's a very bare bones boat for sure. But the only way you're gonna, you know, little 60-horse motor on it, that's a small motor for a 19-foot boat. That's definitely the smallest motor we've seen on any of these boats. But you know what? If you're a fan of Boston Whaler, if you believe in Boston Whaler, it's a way you can get one for, you know, a cheap price. Then you can kind of add to it whatever you need. Okay. Again, very basic, no electronics, nothing, just fuel gauge and a couple of switches. Another canvas top where it's attached to the side of the boat again. So, yep.
No rod holders?
Not going to be fishing off the side of the boat there. Nice forward-facing seat, good size seat with a good size cooler. Nice deck where you can stand and fish again, or throw the cushion there and chill, fish off the side, or just hang out. So what do we think? I don't know. I don't like the tiny motor, and I don't like that gas tank. But here we go. Another 19-foot Boston Whaler. We just doubled the price now for $96,306. Now this is what you expect from Boston Whaler, this one here. Same size boat, but this one is absolutely fully loaded. Got your wakeboard tower, Mercury 150 horse on it, so a big step up on the motor, nice motor. Nice deck space behind the seat there, so room for two guys to bring a big fish in. That's a major bonus for sure. The dash fully loaded with CB radio, with all your electronics, with this beautiful, sweet hard top. I mean, it's a canvas top, but you got that solid hard framing, and it's attached to the center console like it's supposed to be. So it's not attached to the side of the boat. So you could really just fish all the way around this entire boat without the you know, the bracing for the hard top all in your way. So that's what a soft top or a hard top is supposed to be right there. So, and look at this deck space again. That is a decent amount of deck space for a 19-foot boat, and I love to see that. You need some space to work. All right, 20-footers. We just stepped up to the 20-footers. And again, a Robalo to kick it off. $88,000. Nice Yamaha 200 horse. Beautiful boat. I think Robalo makes beautiful boats. Love the color, love that aqua blue color. Grabbing a shot of the tag here, but really $88,060 comes with everything. Fully loaded.
20-footer.
All the electronics, everything. So again, Robalo is scoring points. I am a fan of Robalo. I don't want to pay up for the name for these boats like the Gradys and the Bostons and some other boats. I don't want to pay way more just because it's got that name, you know. And you don't have to with Robalo. You got a wakeboard tower here. Nice, and the captain's chair again, rod holders, nice cooler, a beautiful canvas top. You got the solid steel framing all around, so heavy duty framing for that canvas top. And it's not attached to the side of the boat. Sweet. 4 rod holders. No storage up there, no LED lights or anything, but that's okay. Still such an amazing boat for this price. You can always, you know, clamp on some LED lights up there, some battery-powered LED lights.
Live well.
Nice live well. This one comes with a live well.
Box. Either one. Use it as a fish box. If you're going to use it as your live well, you can always...
Again, you don't just get a cheap igloo cooler, you get that cool Robalo cooler with a Robalo name on it. And here you go. Everything on the dash, all your electronics. 20-foot boat. $88,000. It's just loaded. Comes with everything. Sweet hardtop, or half hardtop, half canvas top. Really nice captain's chair. Plenty of room for 2 people on this one.
Built-in rod holders.
Built-in rod holders. Sweet motor, sweet everything. I love the boat for the price. I can't complain. I don't really have any complaints about this all.
No, you got 2 on each side.
The canvas top is done right. It's got all the electronics, sound system. I really don't have anything to complain about. Let's open this baby up. You got a porta potty. But I'd be willing to bet that they can switch that to a toilet if you want to pay a little more, which I would. So we are. This is a proper center console boat right here.
Okay.
I'm loving this boat. And again, these boats, they don't make just center console. So if you see a boat that you really like this one that you think is giving you a really sweet boat for a sweet price, but center consoles is not your thing, you know, they make dual console boats too. They make, you know, bigger boats that can be used as a full weekender and fishing boat. Okay, now we're stepping up to Stabicraft. $96,497 for the Stabicraft, for the 20-foot Stabicraft. So we're talking, what are we talking about? You know, 8,000 more? And this one has a really nice Honda 150 VTEC motor on it. Okay, let me pause it right here. Now this is different. Stabicraft is different from any other boat for sure. Their boat is a design that's all their own. They're from New Zealand. I got to meet the owner this year. We got to talk a little bit at the boat show. That was pretty cool. So you got your little fish bait cutting station and with built-in rod holders on the back, and you got the wakeboard bar here. You got the captain's chair. It's got, look at the back of the captain's chair. It folds back, so if you want to, you know, face the back while you're fishing, you can, and then you can push it back the other way when you're driving the boat. And that is a really cool feature with a really good sized cooler down there. That's a big cooler. That's a bonus. I think every boat should have, you know, the driver's seat, the backrest for the driver's seat should swivel so you can face forward or face back if you want to. And here the dash is, there's nothing, so no electronics. You got all your gauges and all your switches and all the cool features that Stabicraft has, but no electronics. So that's going to be a little more. Let me pause this for a second. The bow on this boat, I'm not sure what to make of the bow on this boat. The bench seating that wraps around the bow, I don't see. I'm not going to stand up there and fish. It's too narrow. I mean, one wrong step and you're going to fall off. So you know, I would think that you could just throw cushions up there and have a wraparound bench seating. Yeah, I would probably throw some cushions up there and just use it for seating and a basic forward-facing seat. All right, making our way up to the 21-footers. Guys, I still like Robalo for those 20-footers. I still think Robalo wins that contest here, but let's hit the 21-footers. $100,000 for a 21-foot Boston Whaler, $100,000. Nice Mercury 200 V6, wakeboard tower. Rod holders all along the back. And let me pause that again. Again, we have the captain's chair. The backrest folds back so you can face the back of the boat, or, you know, fold it back the other way so you can face forward. Pretty sweet. And we are no longer seeing any boats that have the canvas soft top attached to the side of the boat anymore. And there's that Boston Whaler safety railing that goes all the way around, that high railing that goes all the way around. And this box underneath the captain's chair is something different. You have some storage compartments there where you can organize your tackle. That's really sweet. And then the rest of that I am not sure. I have to assume it's just storage. No electronics. No electronics on this boat. Nice hard top though, not a soft top on this one. This one's got a hard top. And nice wide walkway. You can tell the walkway and the amount of space is definitely getting much bigger now that you get up to the 21 footers. We got a little bit nicer, a little bit bigger forward facing seat here for 2 people. Nice boat. Now we're stepping to a Grady. 300 V6 Yamaha on this Grady. So pretty big step up in the motor. Again, no price. You got to scan the stupid QR code or you got to go talk to the salesman so they can have a chance to try to sell you the boat. I wish they would just put the price on the boat like everyone else. So, but it's going to be the most expensive boat of all of these 21 footers. I can tell you that right now. They're refusing to give you the price. And so, you know, and they have no electronics. So it doesn't come with any electronics for that price. And it's an awesome boat. I mean, don't get me wrong. Grady White is awesome, but they're also definitely the most expensive. And they don't come with some of the features that the other boats have. You know, they never come with any electronics. The dash is always basic. Really nice hardtop. Pausing for a second here. Look at this beautiful hardtop that they have. Built-in LED lighting all around. Storage overhead. Rod holders. You know, tinted glass window. Really nice hardtop. But, I mean, such a nice boat, but still, you have to add more to it for it to be complete. So it's by far the most expensive boat. You're going to have to add your electronics and whatever else for it to be complete, so then it gets more expensive. And they're refusing to show you the price. So you're disqualified, Grady. Disqualified again. All right, stepping up to 22 footers. This is a Mako. 118,000. So we just jumped up in price compared to the Boston Whaler was 100. Now we're looking at 118 for a 22 foot. Nice Mako, nice heavy duty trailer. Let me pause this for a second on this hardtop. Nice hardtop. I don't see any built-in lighting in this hardtop. I see no lights. So that's kind of a bummer, but lots of overhead storage, tons of rod holders. Still really nice. Mercury Pro XS. Live well. All right, this thing is properly set up for serious fishing. Check the motor. Okay, that motor's a 250. So, Mercury Pro XS 250. And when you got that XS on there, it's going to be closer to almost a 300 horse because you get that extra horsepower out of those motors. It's loaded. This one is loaded. And look at this nice bench seat. I love this bench seat. You simply just pull it up and it stays. You don't have to fight with it. And it can seat 3 people comfortably. So I'm loving that back bench seat. That's nice. Comes with your electronics. You got your Garmin electronics here. So you got your navigation and fish finder included in the price. So this is a sweet boat. And look at that. Let me pause that. Look at that beautiful driver's seat, man. Really comfortable looking seats for 2 people. Front part of the seat folds up. So if you want to drive it while you're standing, you get that lower back support. Really nice seating on the Mako boats. 3 rod holders on each side, so you got plenty of rod holders. You're going to have wraparound seating on the bow. But let me pause that. Look at the walkways. Look at the sides of the boat. Those walkways are nice and wide, easy to walk around, plenty of room to stand there and fish, and you got room for your feet. Look it down at the bottom part of the walkway. While you're standing there, you got room for your toes, so your toes aren't hitting the side of the boat. And you got the padding that goes along the side of the boat there, so you know, soft on your legs if you're leaning up against the boat, if you're reeling in a fish. Little space for a porta potty or possibly a toilet. Obviously that's going to be extra. A little bit of rod holder storage down below. Pop-up cleats. put them down when you're fishing so your net doesn't get caught up on those. That's nice. And really nice boat. Huge cooler under the driver's seat. So a great boat for the price. I like that boat. I think that's a really good boat for the price. Here we go. Sailfish with a 200 horse Yamaha on it. 100,000 for this one. So we're going, what, 18,000 cheaper for this one. So nice live well. Let me pause that for a second. The captain's chair is pretty basic. No rod holders, no nothing. There's a space underneath for a cooler, but it doesn't have a cooler. Not that big a deal. You could put a cheap cooler under there. Really nothing on the dash. I mean, everything is on the dash, but no electronics. It's got no fish finder or navigation. But for this price, I still think you're getting a really sweet boat. I feel like you're getting what you pay for. With Mako, I feel like you're getting what you pay for. I don't feel like you're paying up for the name. I feel like you're getting a fair price. Same thing with the Sailfish. Another, pausing it here on the seat, another really nice captain's chair. Comfortable looking. Front part folds up, so if you want to stand and drive the boat, you got the lower back support. Very nice. Take a shot of the hardtop. Plenty of overhead storage and a good sized hardtop, but do I see, oh, we got a sound system. Yes, we have LED lighting too, so everything, more rod holders on the back. And you got some LED lighting that faces towards the back of the boat, so if you're on the deck of the boat in the evening or early in the morning, you have plenty of light.
What's this?
So this is a nice boat. Spot for a toilet, doesn't come with it. I'm not sure how much extra it would cost to have them add a toilet in there. But still, compared to everything we've seen, nice boat for the price. Nice, cushy, comfortable looking bow with really comfortable looking seating all the way around. Could definitely entertain some people with that boat. And you can lean against that padded side of the boat there when you're reeling in a fish. I like Sailfish. I've always liked Sailfish. Another boat that gives you a sweet boat for a much better price than, say, like a Grady White or a Boston Whaler. So a nice alternative to those boats. All right, guys, stepping up to the 23 footers. We're getting into some seriously nice boats right now. A Regulator. I know these boats are really popular in Florida. They're known to make some of the best center console boats. $223,000, $223,000. Twin 150s on this baby. So now we're stepping up to twin motors. Yep, Regulators, they're a little pricey. They're known to be some of the best, but they're pretty expensive. But they're awesome. All right, check this out. Let me pause that. Look at huge hardtop. That's a bigger hardtop than any of the boats we've seen before. So plenty of shade. You got some built-in lighting, overhead storage, rod holders. No speakers, but that's all right. I'm sure they got plenty of speakers down low. And check this out. Let me pause that for a second. Look at that canvas top that comes all the way out. So everybody on the bow of this boat has plenty of shade. I think every boat should have that. I like any boat that has a big section of canvas that extends all the way out so that there's shade covering most of the boat. I think that's really important because you don't want to be sitting in that direct sunlight all day long. I just think every boat should have that. I love that feature. Just grabbing a shot of this heavy duty trailer. All right, stepping up into the boat now. You got built-in rod holders all the way around. Not just like one or two at the back of the boat, but built-in rod holders all the way around. You got live wells, a huge live well. That live well goes all the way back. So it can be used as a live well or just to throw your fish when you catch your fish. The back gate, wasn't quite sure how that opened up. Oh, let me pause that. Look at this. This is what I'm talking about, the captain's chair. Now this is what a captain's chair on a center console boat is supposed to look like. This is beautiful. Rod holders all the way across. Cup holders all the way. Two big drawers that come out to organize your tackle and a good space underneath for your cooler. That's what a center console seat should look like. I don't know if I want to pay $223,000 for it, but that's what it should look like. And a decent amount of space back there, so plenty of room to bring a big fish into the boat. That is another major bonus. And here's the only bummer about this boat. The back seat. The bench seat that folds down, it's falling apart. Dang it. Just when I thought you were cool, Regulator. That seat that folds down is literally falling apart. I'll kind of kick it with my foot. You can see how loose it is. It's just coming loose from the whole cushion and it's just hanging there. More storage, couple 5-gallon buckets down below, which would come in really handy. You could really organize and store a lot of stuff in those 5-gallon buckets for sure. Pause it on the dash here. It comes fully loaded for the price with a huge, large screen for your electronics, your navigation, fish finder, everything, radio, and it better for this price. Nice extra wide walkway on this one. You do have room for your toes down below and padding along the side of the boat. So good job, Regulator, on that. Yeah, different, pause that. That's a really different, the captain's chair here, that is different. That is something definitely different. Plenty, you know, it's got a nice backrest, looks comfortable for 2 people, but it doesn't have that front section of the seat that folds up so that when you stand and drive the boat, you got that lower back support. It doesn't have that. It's just a solid seat. It is what it is. So I would prefer it if it had that front section of the seat that folds up so you can have that lower back support if you want to stand and drive the boat. So this one is showing a washdown hose and a nice sound system and a toilet. Yes, finally, a boat that actually has a toilet. So, and it should. At this price, it should have one. Really nice bow with really nice, beautiful seating all around. I'm always on the fence when I see the bow. Most of these boats have just wraparound seating on the bow, and I kind of wish, I can never make up my mind, but it would be nice if there was no seating whatsoever on the bow. It was just one big open deck space, one giant flat space. You'd have so much room for everyone to fish. You can fish off the sides of the boat, of the bow. Room for your gear, room for 2 guys to bring fish into the boat. But when you have that wraparound seating, you can't. But on a center console boat, you have the sides, and you still have so much space along the sides of the boat to fish. You could still fish 3 people off of each side of the boat. So, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, I can never make up my mind, but I like them both. All right, giving it the seat test. I gave a lot of boats the seat test this year, and let me be honest with you, I couldn't really tell much difference between any of them. It's not like you're going to lean back and get a bunch of lower back support on any of these seats. I mean, you're going to sit up, and it is what it is. All right, now we're going up against a 23-foot Grady White with a nice 350 V6. Again, they're not showing you the price. That Regulator had twin 150s. This has a single outboard, but it's a sweet 350 V6 Yamaha. So that's pretty sweet. Wakeboard tower, live wells, rod holders everywhere. Nice padding along the side, room for your toes down below. Let me pause that. The captain's chair, rod holders, plenty of drawers to organize your tackle down below. That's sweet, but there's no cooler. So, I mean, where do you put your fish? A beautiful bench seat that folds up, what you expect from Grady White. Little stiff, had to kind of fight with it a little bit. It's all right. You get the point. So live well and another good size fish box. So that's going to be where you put your fish. A decent sized fish box there. That's a pretty deep fish box, so you could fit a decent amount of fish in there. And then you got your live well over here.
Yeah. Nice.
So we're good. And again with Grady White, pause that on the dash here. Nothing on the dash, no electronics, nothing, just your gauges and your basic stuff. So you buy the most expensive boat and you still have to add all your electronics to it, so the price goes up even more. So of course I love Grady White, we all love it, but they're so expensive and they don't come with everything. You have to, even after you buy it, still have to add more to it. I just feel like for the price that Grady White charges for their boats, it should come with everything, including electronics. So, and a toilet.
And storage.
But we'll see if they have a toilet.
Storage. Some nice lighting.
Again, let me pause that on those beautiful seats. Grady White makes the nicest looking seats in the business, I think. I love how the Grady White boats, the whole entire boat is just that beautiful pearl white color, the whole thing from top to bottom, including the seats. It just has that, it's just elegant, you know, they're just beautiful. And these seats, the stitching and everything, I just think are the nicest looking seats in the business. I like how the lower part folds up, give you that lower back support if you want to drive the boat standing up again. So, I mean, this is what you expect from Grady White. And it better be for the price they charge. I love that spot up on the dash for your personal items right there that has that. Okay, taking a look at the hardtop.
Storage.
A huge hardtop, a really good size hardtop, so shade for everyone. You got that cloth, whatever you call it, that giant net there where you undo the zipper, but you could fit so much stuff up in there. Some more overhead storage, LED lights all around, speakers, rod holders on the backside everywhere. That's a proper hardtop. That is a really sweet hardtop, and it's huge, like it should be.
More storage.
And the bow, let me pause that. The whole entire bow is one big flat spot right there. So if you take those cushions out, that's going to be a great platform to stand up there and fish or put a little chair. So love that. Or just cover it with the cushions and you could lay all the way out up there if you just want to hang out and get some sunshine. So I really like the bow. And look at this again. Another super beautiful Grady White seat, forward-facing seat for 2 people. Beautiful. But no price, and it's going to be by far the most expensive, and you still have to add stuff to it to make it complete. So you're disqualified again, Grady.
Right there.
Even though the boat is awesome.
I'm loving that.
All right, 23-foot Robalo, only $130,000.
I'd rather spend the extra.
That Regulator was like what, $230,000? You can move to this Robalo for $130,000 with a nice 250 Yamaha motor on it.
Too sweet.
So, I mean, again, I love Robalo.
Already, I like the nice wide.
Look at that seat, the captain's chair. You got your rod holders, nice cooler. No little trays for tackle, but that's all right. A nice extra wide walkway, room for your toes down below, padding on the side. Again, the dash fully loaded with your electronics, fish finder, navigation, everything for this price. Dude, Robalo is kicking butt. Robalo is the boat of the day, man. Robalo is the boat of this video. Your takeaway from this video should be that Robalo gives you so much for your money. Look at this dash, absolutely loaded. This is the nicest looking dash of any boat that we've seen so far. Just the way it's laid out, just the design of it. It's just really cool. It looks very easy to navigate, easy to learn, you know, where everything is. It's got a large screen Simrad electronics in the middle. This is this helm, this dash, whichever you want to call it. The nicest one we've seen so far, I think. Love it. I'm a fan of Robalo. Dude, Robalo has been like winning on everything. Every boat we've looked at, every comparison that we've done so far, Robalo wins every time. And I'm not sponsored by anyone. Probably should be, because I'm giving these guys a lot of free promotion here. I'm giving them high praises. You know, maybe I should be getting paid. I think Robalo maybe needs to give me a boat. If anybody from Robalo sees this video, get a hold of me. I want a boat. Okay, on this hardtop, again, rod holders everywhere, overhead storage everywhere. Nice large hardtop. Back seat folds down. Looks like you could sit probably 3 people there. Wakeboard tower. Dude, 23-foot boat, $130,000 for this boat. Based on all the boats we've seen, this is just a really good price for this boat. Huge, but not huge, but this is a good sized boat, 23-footer. And check this out. Wait for it. Bam! You even get a toilet. All right, guys. For the 23-footers, Robalo totally wins. Robalo has been winning on everything. From the 16-footers all the way up to these 23-footers. Robalo wins every time. And there's a lot more center console boats out there in the world that we're not seeing on the video right now, but okay, Robalo wins the day, but now we're going to take a look at another boat that we absolutely love. 25 footer, the only 25 footer of this video. But look at this, $230,000 for a 25 footer. Okay, and I mean that 23 foot regulator was the same price. With this you get a 25 footer with a sweet Yamaha 350 V6 on it. Okay, we love Robalo, we know that now, but we also love Pursuit. I am a fan of Pursuit. I've always been a fan of Pursuit. Let me pause it right here and take a look at the back of the boat, but I've always been a fan of Pursuit. I feel like you're getting such an amazing boat, fully loaded boat that can compete with Boston Whaler toe to toe, but for such a better price. And right here, we're seeing it. We're definitely seeing it. Look at the rod holders all the way across the back. You got a little wakeboard bar there, live well off to the side. The captain's chairs, comfortable bucket seating for 2 people with a huge drawer for all your tackle and a nice cooler down below. Look at the rod holders all the way around the boat, rod holders and cup holders everywhere. The back deck of the boat is decent. It's big enough, not huge, but big enough for a couple guys to bring a big fish into the boat. Right here, this storage hatch on the side, that's your fish box, and there's one on each side. So you have 2 good-sized fish boxes, okay, one on each side. So plenty of room for your fish. I'm loving that. You have a good day on the water fishing, you're gonna need that. I hate leaving fish sitting in the back of the boat. I mean, you will if you have to, but $20,500 off for the boat show price. Everything is on sale at the boat show, guys. If you want that one big sale of the year to get the sale price on your boat, go to a boat show, especially this big Seattle boat show. Everything is on sale. Oh my God, pause it on this dash. Look at that. Can you believe that? That is amazing, man. 2 huge flat screens. All the electronics you could ever want. Fully loaded, CB radio. Man, everything. If I was in the market for this type of boat, and I had this kind of money and this was my style of boat that I wanted, this is definitely at the top of my list for sure. Look at this hardtop. Good, oversized, huge hardtop. LED lights around, overhead storage, sound system. Rod holders. Another proper hardtop. It's got everything. Another seat that folds down. Nice seat, good enough for 2 people. Large size storage compartments on the sides of the boat right there. I love that. And they got a rubber seal around the inside of it, so when you close that and lock it, it's airtight. You don't have to worry about water getting in and your stuff getting soaked like if it rains or whatever. So that is a really cool feature right there. And a different type of bow seating here. You have, okay, you got, in front of the center console, really nice seat with armrests for 2. Guys, was this a fun video? Are you having fun? Guys, I hope you had fun watching this video. I mean, it's a fun video. These videos are so much fun to do. I love doing videos where I can take boats that are the same size, same style of boat, compare them side by side so we can put things into perspective. So I learn stuff every time I do one of these videos, and hopefully, your takeaway from this video is that you know now what boat is giving you a really sweet boat for a sweet price, because some of these boats, you're paying for the name and they're expensive. And today's video, we know that we love Robalo and we love Pursuit. Sweet boats for the best price of any of these boats that we've seen on today's video. So I love Robalo and I love Pursuit boats. Thanks for watching, man. I hope you got a kick out of today's video. Please subscribe, help me grow this channel. These videos are quite time consuming. It's a part-time job. The channel is growing, but we got a long way to go. So please help me out. Help me get this channel going. Turn on the bell so you don't miss the future videos. That's important. Share with your friends. Hit the like. See you on the next one.